This Georgia public school teacher is one of Donald Trump's biggest fans, and her best friend were just indicted for sleeping with an underage student that goes to the school that they work at. And don't forget, less than a month ago, Donald Trump's pastor, Robert Morris, the pastor who was assigned to Donald Trump's administration in the White House, admitted that he sexually abused a 12-year-old student. Don't forget, Representative Matt Gaetz has repeatedly been investigated for sleeping with underage women. Donald Trump has ties to Jeffrey Epstein. I could go on and on. There is a massive list, but this newest story really just highlights the hypocrisy in the MAGA fan base. You have Twitter accounts like the one named End Wokeness who constantly go after public school teachers just because they have blue hair or just because they use different pronouns. But when you have teachers who actually sexually abuse their students, these Twitter accounts and all of the MAGA right-wing pundits are completely quiet. So I'll read the story in a second, but this tweet reads, two Georgia public school employees and best friends, Riley Grayson and Brooklyn Schuler, have been indicted for raping their students. Riley Grayson Williams has been charged with 2 counts of sexual contact by employer agent in the first degree. Brooklyn has been charged with 1 count of sexual contact by employer agent in the first degree. They both worked for Calhoun County School District. And people dug up Riley's husband's Facebook, and they have been to multiple Trump rallies. They are huge supporters of Donald Trump. They are some of the biggest supporters of Donald Trump. Endless posts of them being at MAGA rallies. This Fox News article reads, a pair of close friends from Georgia who were part of each other's weddings have been charged for allegedly bedding male students at the Georgia school district where they worked. Calhoun City Schools staffers Riley and Brooklyn were allegedly sleeping with students between October 2021 and January of 2022, according to 11 Alive. Authorities said Greason had sex with 2 students between October 29th of 2021 and January 3rd of 2022, while Schuler was allegedly intimate with another male during the same period. Schuler and Greason, who refer to themselves as ride or die friends online, are now facing first-degree charges of sexual contact by an employee, according to the New York Post. I want to use the rest of this video to highlight the hypocrisy of MAGA, but before I do, make sure you leave a like on this video and go join the Adam Mockler subreddit and Discord in the description below. Go make a fun post because we're trying to build those out. But I have seen Marjorie Taylor Greene speak in person, and she said this verbatim: the Democrats are the party of pedophiles. But then in the next week, she will vote against a gun control bill that could help save children's lives. She will vote against school lunch programs that could help feed low-income students. She will vote against anything that could actually help children's lives on a day-to-day basis. They even want to eliminate the Department of Education now, which again would disproportionately hurt low-income students, but that would hurt students all across the country because they wouldn't have access to updated technology, to the updated curriculum. Marjorie Taylor Greene and other MAGA Republicans only pretend to care about children so they can further justify their hatred of LGBTQ people, and so they can call them groomers or pedophiles or whatever they want to call LGBTQ people. But Republicans don't actually care. They don't actually want to take any steps to help children's lives on a day-to-day basis, and it's further proven by MAGA Republicans not caring about this happening.
2 former teachers face serious charges involving students. A Gordon County grand jury has indicted Riley Greason and Brooklyn Schuler on charges related to having sex with students. The 2 were reportedly employed by the city of Calhoun School District at the time. The indictment states between October 2021 and January 22, Greason had sex with 2 male students and Schuler had sex with 1. The indictment charges both women with counts of sexual contact by employee or agent in the first degree.
And Brosif correctly points out on Twitter, likely Marjorie Taylor Greene voters as well, based on their place of employment. I bet you won't hear them being called groomers or pedophiles by Georgia MAGA either. Remember, this happened in Georgia, and Marjorie Taylor Greene's district is around Rome, Georgia. But just to point out some of these other cases of hypocrisy, let's go back to less than a month ago. The scandal roiling one of the nation's biggest megachurches explained. Accusations of child molestation from decades ago have brought brought down a pastor who founded one of the largest megachurches in the U.S. and once served as an evangelical advisor to former President Donald Trump. Texas pastor Robert Morris recently admitted to, quote, inappropriate sexual behavior with a 12-year-old girl in the 1980s and stepped down from his post at the Gateway Church in Dallas. Now, the church's board of elders is scrambling to respond to Clemenshire's account. Apparently, the entire board of elders helped cover up these sexual abuse allegations. Then Donald Trump decided to pick that person as a spiritual advisor. Or we can go over to Matt Gaetz. Ethics probe into Matt Gaetz now reviewing allegations of sexual misconduct and illicit drug use. The House Ethics Committee on Tuesday gave an unusual public update into its long-running investigation of Representative Matt Gaetz of Florida, saying its review now includes whether Gaetz engaged in sexual misconduct and illicit drug use, accepted improper gifts, and sought to obstruct government investigations of his conduct. Or we can just go to Donald Trump himself, who was recently accused of sexually assaulting a 12-year-old girl with Jeffrey Epstein. Remember, this allegation isn't 100% true. We don't know if these allegations are true because they were never brought to court, but we do know that Donald Trump was good friends with Jeffrey Epstein. This court document reads, the plaintiff, Katie Johnson, alleges that defendants Donald J. Trump and Jeffrey E. Epstein did willfully and with extreme malice violate her civil rights by forcing her to engage in various perverted and depraved sex acts by threatening physical harm to plaintiff Johnson and her family. I know this phrase is a little bit cliche, but it's absolutely true with the MAGA Republicans. Every single accusation is a confession when it comes to them. Remember on the debate stage when Donald Trump said that President Biden was so criminal or something along those lines? Meanwhile, this is a man who was convicted with 34 counts of falsifying business records. They called Democrats groomers and rapists, again, so they can help justify their hatred of LGBTQ people, but then on their side, they are full of these pastors, these priests who sexually abuse younger women, these politicians who abuse their positions of power, Donald Trump who is buddy-buddy with Jeffrey Epstein. Republicans also try to claim that Democrats are the ones who are trying to end democracy. Meanwhile, they are voting for a man who tried to place false slates of electors in all of these swing states. He pressured Brad Raffensperger. He pressured Mike Pence. I'm going to say it one more time. Every time the Republicans accuse us of something, it is a confession. They are straight up projecting and trying to cover it up. And honestly, it works a lot of the time because they have this media infrastructure set up where Republicans can tell one lie on TikTok or get one story of kitty litter boxes in bathrooms, and then that blows up on Twitter. End wokeness and libs of TikTok, they pick it up, and then that's picked up by the New York Post, and then Fox News picks it up, and then Sinclair Broadcasting distributes it to all of these households. Right now, the right-wing media infrastructure allows for them to project successfully, and the Democrats are always on the defense when I think it's about time that we go on the offense. We have 4 months until the election, and I'm not gonna lie, President Biden is down in all of the swing state polling. Whether or not you believe polling is predictive, I think it should worry all of us that it says President Biden is down. So let's go on the offense. Let's make sure we're out there attacking MAGA Republicans, calling them out for what they are, calling out the MAGA politicians as the authoritarians they are, or at the very least they allow this authoritarianism. They're complacent while the other Republicans do it. So we have to go on the offense. We have to go mobilize, phone bank. If you want a community around the election time, go join my subreddit, go join my Discord. It's all in the description below. Leave a like on this video and have a great day.